They promised me a cat. I knew I wouldn't get it, and even if I did, I wouldn't have it long. Hello? Because I understand something fundamental about the world. It was my first lesson. I learned it from my mom and dad before I could remember anything. I learned it at the orphanage. I learned it from the string of foster parents. So even now, when the paperwork was all in, and I was officially theirs, I knew that wasn't really true. I wasn't adopted, this wasn't my home, I'd never get the cat. The real truth, everyone you rely on, everyone you love, everyone will leave you. And then I woke up that day and found everyone really had. Hello? Or nearly everyone. It was an hour until I saw another soul. Or rather, another soul saw me. Lori! Annette from school was... Where is everyone? I woke up and my house was empty and Mummy would have left a note. Daddy may have forgot, but Mummy... That. A well-tended sunflower of a girl. I was all thorns. Oh, yeah, not a hugger. I forgot. Oh, Lori, I was so worried, but this is so good. You're here. That means everyone hasn't gone. That means we can relax. People will turn up and this will all make sense. Trust me. Annette smiled as she asked me to jump over the moon. We'll see. Are you hungry? I'm starving. I'm famished. Let's get back to mine. It's nearest. Mummy may be back, and if not, she keeps loads in the pantry. Pantry. Mum, are you here? The word said everything about Annette. Oh, well, she'll be back soon, I'm sure. She came from a world of pantries, and the pantry was never bare. That world was gone. We were in the world where two girls who don't like beans eat cold beans out of a can. Do you think it's the rapture? Like all the good people have been taken and left us behind? I guess all electricity is bad electricity. And there's a God who thinks food is ethically good or bad and leaves the wicked beans behind. No, Annette, it's not the rapture. Why not? I didn't believe in that kind of stuff before, but it makes sense. Why are you so sure? The rapture is when all the good people disappear. I don't believe in good people. What are we gonna do, Lori? For a start, find some more food. Yeah, for a start. And every day from then on, for months, life was scavenging for whatever the weird-ass rapture left behind, as the summer leached away. Every day was colder, and that was going to be a problem soon. Every day, food was harder to find. This place is chaos! I bet something's been missed! Yeah, but we're too near the dog's den. If they hear us... Yeah, but maybe there's peaches. Hey, there is a stash! They're my peaches! I hid them. You don't get to have them. Get away from here before I poke a hole right through you! The dogs will hear any noise and come sniffing. They'll want you. They don't care about me, and none of us can afford to get hurt. Go! She was right. I didn't want to take a chance. Annette felt differently. Give us the damn peaches! You're crazy! Don't look at me like that. We took a chance and now we have peaches. Annette took chances I wouldn't have. We certainly ate better with her weird bravery and her Girl Guide training. We'd been lucky so far. We both heard the noise approaching. So far only goes so far. The dogs. Why they were called dogs when they wore those scary-ass bird masks is anyone's guess. It's not as if we ever hung around to ask questions. They were the local gang. That there was only one gang here is why we stayed. They'd hold up in the mall outside town, made it defensible, made it warm, took what they wanted and invited people in that way that wasn't really an invitation. The dogs weren't just men, but the ones you saw out prowling, they were always men. That said a lot. That said why we wouldn't go with them. I'm not the sort to pray. I didn't start then. I was just trying to stay quiet when my body wanted to scream. Turns out, sometimes you don't need to pray for your prayers to be answered. What in the hell was... What was that? We better go tell Max. He'll want to know. Let's go! Oh God, that was so close. I'm sorry, you were right. Let's get out of here. After we see what that was. You're the one who says to be careful. This is the opposite of careful. She didn't get it. Yeah, whatever fell from the sky was scary, but that doesn't mean you just stay away. You go check it out because you're afraid of it. To survive, you need to know what exactly you have to be scared about. And then, we did. This was when it all changed. Everything up to this point had been subtraction. This was addition. My life would never be the same again. I wonder what would have happened if it had noticed us then. It didn't. Instead, it turned and headed away. It moved so gently on the ground, as if it was afraid of what it could do. Or as if it was hunting. Annette, where are you going? Please don't tell me you're going to say hello to the giant. Maybe. We have to at least follow it and find out more. That was your idea, remember? Did it fly here? Has it a home? A spaceship? Is it an alien? Or an angel? Or an alien angel? Annette was naive, but she wasn't stupid. She was right. I didn't really care what it actually was. I just wanted to know if it was going to kill me or not. Oh, it does have a home. Annette gawped for a while. I'm not too proud to admit that I joined her. But even when I'm gawping, I make sure one eye isn't. So I saw the other one first, an emerald giant alongside the ruby red. Annette and I watched, trying to understand the musical chiming and weird bass rhythms of their speech. It couldn't have been more than a minute, and then they went their separate ways. If they were leaving, I figured it should be our cue to do likewise. Should. No! What are you doing? We have to at least try and talk to them. Hey, are you friendly? I said, are you friendly? Run! Where to? I don't know. Follow my lead. Everyone stay tight. We should be first there, but if not, we need to be ready for a fight. If there's any good stuff, it's ours, right? And, Max, look! Hey, dogs! Bring them over. Welcome to the dogs, girls. Now, what's going on over? I was straining to hear its footsteps so I'd know when to make my move, but it was so quiet. It was almost as much of a surprise to me as it was to the dogs. Crap! Ah! Don't just stand there, you cowards! Get it! Afterwards, Annette asked me if we should have felt bad for leading it right to them. It could have torn them apart so easily. Could is a lot like should. Mostly it seems it doesn't go that way. Instead, it ignored the dogs like they were less than dogs, like they were insects. And it wasn't going to spend its evenings stepping on each individual ant. The dogs didn't see it like that. He's scared of us, after him. Max and his dogs harassed it every step of the way. I bet Annette, our next can of peaches, it would annihilate them. She thought it was in bad taste, but laughed anyway. I was rubbing off on her. The Emerald Giant's home was north of town. We kept our distance, watching the dogs celebrating their victory. They milled around until one got fried dead after prodding some of the weird stuff. They came back the next day, and there was some noise that made them feel sick until they left, and then things were basically back to normal for a few weeks. We'd taken a night trip as far as we dared, hoping to find some food. With just the two of us, night is safer. Harder to find anything, but harder to be spotted. We found nothing, stayed out too long, and were having to sneak past the dog's den at first light. We both felt stupid. It was a huge risk, but starving was a bigger one. Annette stayed optimistic. She hoped we'd find something on the way home. We did. It wasn't food. We weren't that desperate yet. Someone had been eating, though. We wondered, could it be Max, punishing his people somehow? Annette thought maybe a bear. I told her there's no bears around here and tried to sound certain. But in a world with people disappearing, giants, and everything else, could I be sure it wasn't a bear? That night we realized the truth. It wasn't a bear. I made a mistake. I grabbed my stick, as if it could help me against that half-ton of teeth and fur. We'd planned what to do if things got bad. Stay together, but if it's bad enough, split up. How do we know if it's bad enough? Asked Annette. You'll know, I said. I didn't say what the plan meant, but I'm pretty sure even Annette realized. If you split up, only one of you is getting eaten. Back off! Follow me! A grown-up shouting a plan. That's what we needed. Even if it seemed a crap plan. We can't outrun it! Shut up and save your breath! Just come, not far! I realized where we were going. It had changed, grown. We'd stayed clear since then. When we'd seen that dog getting fried at the Emerald Base, we realized it wasn't worth the risk. In any normal situation, I wouldn't have gone here. But this was about as far away from a normal situation as it got. I just didn't understand how it would make any difference. Wow, what's happening? I got lucky, so you get to be lucky too. The wolves don't like the giants, I think. You call them giants too? What do you think anyone's going to call them? Don't overthink it. We don't have time to overthink the small stuff anymore. Just concentrate on what's important. That's why I ended up camping here. Everyone else stays clear. I saw a wolf for the first time a couple of nights ago, prowling around the edge, keeping its distance. I'd never seen anything like it before. More weirdness to add to the list, right? I wondered if they were scared of humans, so I took a step out and... put it like this, they're definitely not scared of humans. Nearly took my arm clean off before I dived back, but it wouldn't follow me any farther. So, what are you suggesting? He doesn't seem to notice that I'm lurking around, so unless you've got a burning desire to be eaten by one of those things, welcome to your new home. We did ask why he. She said that he reminded her of her husband, mostly oblivious to the obvious. We laughed, and Annette joined in calling Red he. I didn't. It. It was an it. She was called Beatrice, and she was right. Arguments over peaches were forgotten, and 2 were now 3. We started to scavenge during the day. The wolves were only around at night. It was safer. But safer is a long way from safe. No wolves by day, but plenty of dogs. They were methodically going house to house to make sure they had everything. The only luck we had was that they weren't that methodical. Every bit of food we found was a battle. Everything's a battle, and battles will always leave someone dead, said Beatrice. She was so bleak she made me feel like Annette. My man went 7 years before, and then everyone else went. It is what it is. We'll last until we don't. But we'll last longest here. I thought, she's given up hope. She has no hope. Little did I know. We guessed the dogs' defenses held against the wolves, so they stayed clear of the giants too. We had it to ourselves. The place continued changing. Half garden, half technology project. We had no idea. These blooms tilted like ears to the sky. Annette thought they were beautiful. I just thought they made great shelter. But doesn't them being useful also make them beautiful? Annette being right was the most annoying thing. Rare and preciously annoying. The dog's locust act had done its trick. We had to go farther and farther to find food. It was so cold nothing grew. The day it happened, we should have been happy. We'd come home with a rabbit. But we found it dead, and we hadn't seen one in a couple of weeks. We all knew it'd probably be the last. The meals got thinner, and we did too. We were grim. Annette couldn't bear that. She thought with all the snow it may be Christmas, so... Jingle bells, jingle, jingle, jingle. Do you really not know the words to jingle? It looked right at us, and then it left. We should move. Get out of here. We saw what happened to that dog. It's probably getting a can of boiling water or whatever it uses to kill ants. Run! With the wolves out there? No, not yet. We will if we have to, but we can just move around the camp, hide in other places, split up, and look! It's coming back! What the hell is that? I don't know, but it smells good. She was right, at least to this audience. Anything smells good when you're starving. We saw what it had done. But what did it mean? Okay, if it is food, it'll still be there when it goes back in. We can wait. But it'll be cold. It doesn't seem mean, and it smells so good. Annette Marie Wilbury, don't you dare! I deployed her middle name as if I were her mum, but I was right. I had rubbed off on her, including my rebellious streak. I'll be careful! I wanted to scream at her. Bait! She had read books. Didn't she understand it was bait? We watched. Petrified, hoping, wishing. Oh, Annette, please be right. It's okay! She had taken the risk. We'd share the rewards. Though we weren't going to eat out in the open. We were loading up this weird stew into cans when it moved. We all knew what to do. We scattered, and it froze. Annette was the first to notice. She was always the sort to look back. Annette, don't! Annette told me a story about that once. Looking back. Or was it two? One was a Bible story, I think. Someone looked back on the way out of a burning town. I'm pretty sure the other was Greek. Some lady was looking back, coming out of hell. I'll be honest, I didn't really pay that much attention. I only really remember one thing about them both. Looking back is a bad idea. That Annette told the stories made me think she should have really understood that. Seemingly not. You leave her alone! My anger was greater than my fear, until it looked at me. The rules kicked in. If things are bad enough, we split. Nothing could be worse than that. Except if Annette's cries were of pain rather than panic. She screamed for help every step it took. Then the door closed and all was silence. I remember thinking, I'm right, Annette's wrong. I wished so badly that Annette was right. We moved our camp but didn't move away. I said that maybe Annette would escape, so we had to wait. Beatrice gave me a look. You sound like her. We both knew where sounding like her would get you. There was one big change. The giant came out every night, with food. I'd stood there waiting, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for an hour. But Beatrice was right. We could always outwait it. Sometimes it'd come back out and we'd scatter, as if it thought we'd forget what it did to Annette. At least we finally had food. Problem, it was only getting colder. The dogs took everything they could burn behind their increasingly high barricades. We bet it was warm in there. You could see their fires burning all night. But back at our camp? Wake up, Beatrice. Wake up! This can't go on, I thought then. Oh, I was wrong. This is what Beatrice looks like when she has no hope. But no, still wrong. We had no choice left. We had to join the dogs if they'd have us. Whatever life we'd have there, it would be better than no life at all. I was wrong about that too. We hadn't realized what was really going on. If it comes to a fight, wolves beat dogs. We knew everything we needed would be inside, but the wolves, we'd never seen them during the day. Where did they go? Maybe the dog's den is their den now. It was too big a risk to go snooping yet. What are we going to do? I tried to imagine what Annette would say. She was so dumb, but we needed her. Her dumbness was a fire. It kept us warm. But where we were, all fires had gone out. I did my best with the embers. Well, we're going to eat. Giant's gone back in. It's back. I didn't see it coming. I probably should have. I heard Beatrice stop. I turned back. Beatrice! I realized, I can't do this anymore. This is what Beatrice looks like when she's got no hope. Beatrice! No! It would have been so easy to join her. But I realized then, I wanted to live. It searched more carefully now, scouring the area, hiding place by hiding place. It stayed out longer than it ever had before. I had to move. I needed somewhere safe and warm. I wasn't going to get both. I'd settle for warm. It was strange to finally be in the den. If I was in a better state, I'd have been imagining what it was like when they were all alive. The cooking, the bustle, the violence, everything. I didn't. I was just wondering, where would Max keep the fuel? I found it, for all the good it did him. I was so grateful. I wasn't going to freeze to death. I was right. As the blood pumped out, the weirdest thoughts came with it. I hope it kills me quickly. Why did the Not Rapture leave all those beans behind? How did that giant find me? For all its violence, it did it so precisely. It knew what it had to do, and just did it. Whatever it was going to do, it was going to do. All my problems were over. Just not in the way that I thought they were. I was patched up, restrained. I couldn't move as it loomed closer and closer and... I didn't understand. Luckily, an explanation was incoming. Don't worry, that's what he does. I think he's trying to talk to us. He's failing. I don't think he can do it. Maybe that's what we sound like to him. If I had stitches, I'd have torn them. I couldn't believe it. Annette was right. It was friendly. He's been sort of looking after me. He's very protective. I kept on trying to go on and get you, but he wouldn't let me out. He only let us in here to see how you were healing up after we spent half the day howling and banging at the door. Stubborn fella. I figure if you're that big, you can be. It had patched me up and fed us and everything. It was friendly. But friendly doesn't mean it's a friend. Plenty of people in my life had been friendly. All those foster parents were friendly to begin with. Some were friendly when they said goodbye, too. The giant had saved my life. That didn't mean I trusted it. It saved my life for what? We've basically got free run of the place. He does his own thing. No wolves, no threats. He won't let us out, but it's a pretty good deal. Plus, it's beautiful, right? It's freezing. It's colder in here, if anything. Can't it turn on the heating? I'm not sure he understands that. But it's not a problem. What we do is... Oh, look! He's going to sleep. It sleeps. He lies down and doesn't move. That's close enough. I said don't overthink things. If he's sleeping, I am too. We all should. I'm exhausted. What are you doing? He radiates heat. He's like a house-sized radiator. It's really toasty. He's softer than he looks, too. Absolutely not. Hey, Snoozy, rise and shine. Want to come see what the giant does? What does it do? I said come see. It's hard to explain. You see, it's hard to explain, as I have no idea what he's doing. We theorized, of course. A scientist, a priest, researching where everyone went, Annette, causing it, me. We didn't know, we never would, really. I thought of it as work, whether inside in its shiny light lab or its rare solo trips out, which made me file what it did at night as play? I don't know. We could have had it entirely back to front. Maybe sitting and staring at the swirling lights was the real work. We took to watching it too, though it didn't mean anything to us. The days passed. The other two would do their own thing, but I kind of stalked the giant, watching just in case. I skulked a lot in the shadows, where it couldn't really see me. Yeah, that was a problem. Ah! Back off! Are you okay? That was nasty. I'm okay. I thought it was broken. He didn't do it deliberately. I probably didn't. I was skulking, but it reminded me what it could do if it wanted to. Turns out it could do a lot of things when it wanted to. Laurie, don't worry. It's really cool. It was a casual little miracle. Less miraculous was him forgetting to feed us. Hey! Eat! Need food! He just needs a reminder. No! Every time Annette did it, I thought the miracle lights would turn monstrous and cut her into pieces. And each time, not yet anyway. I was suspicious, but the giant was wearing me down. I had to take a chance. That said, when it stirred in the morning, I ran a mile screaming. The days turned to weeks. I thought I was as used to this as I could be. However, well, isn't this just like home? Was it? It watched us as we ate and talked, like studying us. We were amusing it. Its dumb, patronizing blah blah blahs. To Annette, maybe it did feel like home. But if it was home, you could leave. That we couldn't made it feel more like a prison. It wouldn't even let us near the door, even with my best skulking. But one day I managed to get an angle to peek past, and the ice was melting. Snowdrops. Spring. We need to get out of here as quickly as possible. I'm not sure, Laurie. I like it here. Better than out there. And what about the wolves? Maybe he's just trying to protect us. We can't trust it. Is it going to cage us up, take us into the sky whenever it leaves? Because it will leave. We need to leave first. They said they'd think about it. Their expressions told me that the answer would be no. I was on my own. Fine. What else is new? It took me weeks to lull it into a sense of security. I just lazed near the door, not doing anything whenever it went out. To start with, it was always being careful to look at me. Eventually, it got slack, and I took my chance. I ran. I was fed and kept fit when he trapped us. I was gone. When I reached the ridge, I saw it heading back inside. It had realized I was gone soon enough. It would start its hunt. If I stayed anywhere near, it'd find me. But the wolves would still be out there, and their hunt was the really dangerous one. I realized there was another place where the wolves wouldn't go, because Red wasn't the only giant. I had a little food in my pockets. I knew how to set up a shelter that'd be good enough for a night. At first light, I'd head to the dog's mall and start collecting equipment. I was already planning my new life when it came out. Apart from the color, it seemed so similar. I almost couldn't tell the difference. Just like the red giant, it was doing something I just didn't understand. And then I did. The wolves looked at it. It made a gesture, and off they went. I understood where the wolves came from, and why they were here. I remember thinking about how the Emerald Giant wasn't going to spend its evenings stepping on each individual ant, and I couldn't do anything. Instead, it made the wolves to do it. It was clearing up what the Not Rapture left behind. The other giant made the wolves to kill us! I remember thinking, if only he understood. What can I do to make him understand? Blah, 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 blah! Blah, 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 blah! The seconds stretched out. I had no idea if it could see my expression or understood what it meant or anything. We just stood on the opposite sides of a chasm, and I was willing him to step across. Please, you have to understand. Blah, 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 blah. I was so relieved. I didn't notice that I had thought of him as a he, not an it. I've kept the it until now, so you got what it was like being there and the way I felt. That ended right then, and I had no idea. In the moment, I wasn't exactly in a self-reflective place. I was petrified. Him understanding I wanted him to follow was a very different thing from understanding. Blah, 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 blah. Look, big guy, your friend made a portal that spits out the wolves that eat us. Maybe he would understand what it meant, but not understand why it's bad. Maybe the Emerald Giant's lawn is the Emerald Giant's business. Maybe he'd think it was a good idea. He understood. But did he understand the consequences? The other giant came stomping out. I was scared for Red. This guy was someone who released murderous wolves at humans just for existing. What was he going to do to someone who smashed his stuff? I shouldn't have been worried for Red. I should have been worried for me. I guess part of me thought that with all their advanced technology or magic or whatever, they'd have a reasonable way of coming to terms with one another. Or if they were angels sent to watch over us, they'd call God and God would have sorted it out. I was wrong and should have remembered Annette's stories. Once there was a war between the angels. Angels fight. Some angels fight dirty. It made sense. He made the wolves so his attack dogs would have a leash. And he tugged on it. Looking back, I can't believe I was still there. I should have run the first chance I got. That's the rules. Split up if there's real danger. But instead, we stuck together. I cowered between his legs as the battle raged on and the corpses mounted up. I knew that it would just take one mistake, and jaws would close around my leg and I'd be pulled away and torn into pieces. Instead, all I could think about was the strange smell coming from the cracks in his body and the energy leaking from him, and how much more could Red take? But that's the tell, right? I was worried for him first. You can be cynical. I want to be. Like if he dies, I die. That's a perfectly sensible reason to be worried for him first. I don't think it was that. It was me recognizing the truth. It was only then I really got it. He didn't have ulterior motives. He just loved us. I wish I had realized earlier. But I knew it then. Eventually, everything stopped working. It was time to move on. We wanted to say goodbye. Everyone leaves, one way or another. Sometimes people just have to go and there's nothing you can do about it. The time we have together is the time we have together. He taught me that. At least that's what I took from it. And love, of course. We never truly understand each other. Not really. But sometimes we understand enough.